Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's the holiday season, so I always like to give you guys a couple different makeup ideas for any events or parties that you're going to. So I've created this look today. I've partnered with Eco Tools on this video. They've come out with a bunch of new kits for the holiday season. I'm going to be focusing on two of them, the Highlight and Glow set and the Color Correct and Perfect brush set. So I'm going to show you guys how I use all the brushes in these kits and kind of what you can use them for to create this really pretty, glittery, glam look. So thanks so much to Eco Tools for sponsoring and collaborating with me on today's video. We did like this glitter bronzy eye and some really contoured cheeks. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I've been doing like my cream contour look lately. This really pretty rosy nude lip. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share with you guys my outfit details and my hair details. I'm going to show you guys a really quick, like easy hair tutorial. So let's go ahead and get started. So I need my makeup to last all day. My skin's been a little bit more on the shiny, oily side lately, but I still like a glowy look. So I've been mixing two primers together to get kind of like a custom look that I think looks really pretty in photos and videos. So I do an oil-free primer. I just put a little bit on the back of my hand, like a pea-sized amount. Then I mix in a liquid highlighter. This one's from Becca. It's called Opal. So I'll mix in a little bit of this, and it kind of helps with my oil but gives me a glow at the same time, and it works really well. So you just mix these two together and then dot it all over. And then I love using this brush from the Highlight and Glow set. So it's called the Airbrushed finishing brush. It's great for any kind of liquid product, but it's also really good for like a light dusting of powder or a light dusting of bronzer or highlighter. So you could use it so many different ways in your makeup routine, but one of my favorite ways is for like liquid highlight products. So I'm using that to blend this all in. So as you can tell, that really gives my skin a nice glow to it. It looks healthy and refreshed. Bring a little bit down the neck. So I want my skin to look flawless. Before I go in with foundation, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting on these like scars that I have here. So some little red ones here, a little bit around my nose. So I'm using this brush from the Color Correct and Perfect brush set. It's called Correcting Concealer. This is great because it's actually like, it kind of reminds me actually of an eyeshadow brush. So it's small, it's tiny, and it's dense. So it's great for packing on that color, but it's just fluffy enough where you can start to easily blend out the corrector. I'm going to use this one. It's like a yellow tone corrector. So it's great for redness. So you can blend in the product really easily with this brush. So I dab a little bit on and like lightly tap it out. That way it doesn't look like cakey or heavy, especially if you have any pimples or anything like that. You don't want it to look like a cakey, dry mess or anything with like too much makeup on it. That will just end up looking worse than when you started. So you apply just like a tiny bit of product and lightly tap it in with this brush, and it will do the work for you. So next, I like to apply a full coverage glowy foundation all over the skin. I'm going to blend it in with my perfecting blender. I have gotten this wet, and so it doubled in size. It's really big now and soft, and you can really blend in your foundation well with this. So I use a stippling motion to start blending this in. I don't want to completely erase that coverage that we got from that corrector. So by tapping it and stippling it, you just press that foundation into your skin and you're not messing up anything that you did before. And you'll get a better coverage doing it this way. So you just take your time. Now that my skin is all even, I do like to brighten my dark circles a little bit, kind of lift the eye area. I also like to do a little bit of highlighting underneath the brow bone. So I'm going in with that same correcting concealer brush and my concealer. And I'm going to apply that in a V shape under the eyes. Just like this. I don't use a concealer that's like 3 shades too light for me or anything. I use something that just gives me enough brightness to where I look refreshed and awake, but it doesn't look too like makeup-y or heavy. And then a little bit underneath the brow bone and just kind of like through the center of the face where you would normally highlight. Blending it in with that same sponge, I just turn it around and kind of use this side here, and it fits right underneath your eye really well. So I use that same motion where I just kind of bounce it and stipple it in. So I mentioned to you guys in a recent favorites video that I've been loving adding cream contour back into my routine. I think that my face can tend to look, and anyone's face can tend to look a little bit washed out or flat in photos if they don't really focus on contouring. So I think this like makes the biggest difference in photos. It looks so good. So I just take a cream stick foundation and I apply a little bit right on my cheekbones. If you don't have a stick like this, any just darker cream bronzer, cream foundation, anything like that will work. You just take a brush like this. This one's just called the concealer brush. It's also from that little gift set, the Color Correct and Perfect brush set. So I go in with this and you can go right into your product. And you can apply those stripes or, you know, wherever you need it. But I love using this for especially down the nose or on those smaller areas of the face. So you can get a really straight, detailed line. So for me, what works best for my nose shape is to just contour the bottom half. So I have like a tiny little bump here that I actually don't notice in person, but I notice in pictures if I do contour over it, it actually accentuates it. So I try to leave that alone. And I could even do a little bit up here. So you just have to kind of play around with your own face shape. And then I do like to connect it there. But using this brush makes it so easy to really do like that detail work. A little bit under my lip. And a little bit through the crease of my eye. And I also like to do a little one right here to accentuate the tip of your nose. Okay, I'm gonna use that blender sponge to blend everything out. I like using this when there's already foundation on it. I think it helps blend the foundation and the bronzer or the cream contour together. So same motion again, you definitely don't wanna like blend this down or like use any rubbing motions. You wanna just stipple and bounce. And then I'll turn it like this and kind of use those pointy sides to do the nose. Next, I'm using my controlled setting brush to bake under the eyes. This brush is great for doing that. It's also really good for highlighter on the cheekbones or the nose, but I really, really love it for setting powder under the eyes. So I'm gonna do a little bit of baking today, but not too crazy. So I bring it up onto the side of my nose like this. That really helps my nose contour look even better. And then I'll bring it out towards the corner of my eye and down. And then I also do a little bit here in my smile lines. And in my T-zone where I get oily. Once we have that on there, I let it sit for a minute, but remember in the beginning of the video, I told you that this airbrushed finishing brush is really good for liquid and powder. So now I'm gonna show you guys how I use it for powder. So first, I'm gonna brush away the excess powder I have under my eyes. So here's where I'll go in with just a tiny bit of setting powder and lightly dust this over the rest of my face. So those areas where I put that cream contour, if I don't set it and I just go right in with a bronzer on top, it can tend to get a little bit patchy or muddy. So if I just lightly set it with that translucent powder just like this, it doesn't take away the color or the effect or anything. But it's just so much, it just looks so much better in the end. So just a little bit all over. So next I'm gonna go back in with a little bit of bronzer on this small contour kabuki brush. This also comes in that cute little ornament. And go over those areas where I put that cream contour. It's angled, so it like perfectly fits all of those areas. That same duo fiber brush and a little bit of a pinky blush. I start on the cheekbones and then I bring it back into the hairline and into that contour. Then I'm going to use the controlled setting brush. I told you guys this is great for highlighter, and apply that at the top of the cheekbones. On the nose. And the face is done. I'm going to be using this palette from Tarte. It's called Man Eater. It's just a bunch of really good neutral shades in there. So I'm going to start off with this medium kind of light brown color in the angled crease brush. So this brush has that nice angle to it. So it's great for kind of placing it on that outer corner, working it into your crease and back out. And it's going to really easily give you that like cat eye angled shape. You can also take a little bit on the outer edge like that and work it up. I also like to apply a little bit of this to my lower lash line. And I take that cat eye pretty far out. That really elongates your eye and gives you a nice almond shape. Then I'm going to go in with that one shade darker in the blending brush and add just to that outer corner where I told you I was making that cat eye. I'm just gonna darken that up a little bit. So I start with lighter and I work my way up to darker shades slowly, and that's gonna really give you that blended look. Then I'm going in with the Define brush, which is just like an angled brush. You could use this for liner, you could use it for brows. I'm gonna go in with this really dark brown color and place this where I would normally place liquid eyeliner and kind of bring it up a little bit and out and do a cat eye with it. So I start by just stamping it on. And then I flip it so it's like this and create that cat eye. Then I go in with this smudger brush and I lightly tap that in. That's gonna give it a really pretty blended smudgy look. And you can do this with a dark brown, a dark purple, black, whatever you like. So you can leave it like this, but I really wanted to go for like a glitter, kind of bronzy look. So I'm using this liquid glitter. It's called Bronzed Belle. And I'm just gonna apply that to my eyelid. And I'm tapping it in using my blending brush. You can go back and apply as many coats of this as you want, or you can set it with a powder. I'm applying just a little bit of mascara and some liner just to make my lashes super black. I do have lash extensions. That's why I really love that liquid glitter, because it doesn't get like powder all over my lash extensions. Just a little bit. And on the bottom. And then I'm gonna fill in my brows with a little bit of brow powder, and I'll be right back. Then I'm just gonna blend in that brow pencil with this spoolie. That will give it a nice soft feathered look. I don't want my eyebrows to look too harsh since we did all that glitter on the lid. For lips, I normally go for a nudie kind of rosy look, so you don't want to do something too nude with this eye look. I think when we think of like a super glam eye look, you tend to think a nude on the lip, but you don't want to look washed out, especially in pictures. You want to just kind of see some definition in the lip. So I think a rosy color is a perfect neutral to complement this eye look. So I'm going in with this kind of like, I'm going to mix two colors together for my lip liner, a more pinky one and a more nudie one to get that perfect like in between shade. I mix those two together with the Define concealer brush. This works great for concealer or blending lipstick and lip liner together. I'm gonna do a little bit of liquid lipstick in the center. This is about a shade lighter than the liner. I could have even gone lighter too. And blend that in using the same little brush. I'm gonna quickly touch up my curls. I have second day hair, but I've been getting some questions from you guys to share with you how I've been doing like my big messy beach curls. So I'll show you guys how I do that. This is the dress I'm gonna wear. It's just this really cute kind of like confetti glitter dress. It's a maternity dress, so it's like super stretchy. I'll insert some pictures, but first I'm gonna start by brushing my hair. And then if it was first day and I was just curling it for the first time, I'd split it up and do it in half. But today, since I'm just touching it up, I don't need to do that. So I just grab a piece. I always make sure it's brushed through. I take my curling iron, I face it downwards, and I wrap it around 2 or 3 times max. I leave a lot out at the end, and that really gives it that like undone, kind of tousled look. Take another piece, and I do all of them away from my face. So here's what it looks like curled. I'll just spray it and repeat the same thing on the other side. Now that the whole head is curled, I just kind of run my fingers through it and mess it up. And that kind of really just gives it the texture. It's really, really easy. It takes like less than 5 minutes. So that is the hair done. I'm gonna go get dressed and you guys will see the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me for my holiday photos. This would be great for any kind of like holiday related party or event that you're going to. If you want to see more of a classic holiday look with like a cat eye and red lips, you can check out the video that I did over on the EcoTools YouTube channel. I'll have a link for that down below. Thanks again to EcoTools for sponsoring this video and collaborating with me. I hope you guys all have a great week and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.